once again, Star Wars unboxing fans, welcome to another episode in another hallway in another Disney resort. Darth Tuba Star Wars unboxing show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba, and once again we are venturing one last time outside of the Disney bubble. We are staying in our final round of hotels here at Walt Disney World. Is the Disney Beach Club Villas and Resorts. It's part of Disney Giant Beach Club Resort. We are DVC, Disney Vacation Club members, and are using our points to stay in this really wonderful hotel. In my opinion, the overall best hotel grouping of hotels in Disney World, because it is a very short walk to one of the theme parks, a slightly longer walk or boat ride to another theme park, and just kind of, it has its own little built-in water park. Just really awesome. We are going to work our way outside the bubble one final time. The next time we do this, I believe, will most likely be our exiting day. We have about a week to go. It's been a long time, folks. If you've been keeping up with these episodes, we've been gone for almost a month. We left our home in New Jersey on the 5th, and we'll be returning to our home on the 31st of this month. So we are going to take one more exit outside the bubble to go to the Disney Character Warehouse. Basically, we're ending our bubble excursions, exit bubble excursions outside of Disney property, how we began. The first one I did of these was at the Disney Character Warehouse, and that's where we're going to go next. So why are we going again? Well, it is Wednesday, and on Wednesdays, or Disney Character Warehouse usually puts out all new product. When I say new product, I mean new product to them. And therefore, there's usually a pretty big push for people to come in and check it out. And now, I will tell you, in full disclosure, it is now 12:39. The warehouse opened at 10. It is going to be a madhouse, more than likely. I'm curious to see if it's any more of a madhouse than what it was 2 weeks ago when we went in. And we were there the day before Wednesday. So it's been 2 Wednesdays since then. Actually, maybe 3. Might have been 3 Wednesdays since then. So we'll see. I'm specifically looking for any kind of Star Wars items that they might have put out that they didn't already have. But of course, we'll be looking at other Disney items as well. We'll see what they have. Yeah, so some people wonder, like, how the heck do you afford to come here for an entire month? Well, I can assure you folks that it's not cheap, but it's not break the bank expensive either. Basically, being DVC members and annual pass holders does significantly reduce the cost. Of course, that's a long-term investment, especially DVC in the long run. If you're anybody interested in being a Disney Vacation Club member, there's lots of websites and YouTube channels, and there's some great places. You can buy them off, not off brand, but through resale markets, which, like I use a place called DVC Rental Store to actually rent points additional to the ones I already have. And that's great because you can get 50, even 60% off, like the rack rate for really good resorts. The value resorts that they have, like Pop Century and All Star Music and Sports and Movies, they're like they're like motels, right? Exterior entrance motels. They're great. They're really great. It is not something that, some people look at that and then they'll see something off Disney property and say, oh my God, it's so much cheaper to stay off property. Yes, it is. But when you factor in parking and factor in staying, if you factor in all the other expenses of getting into the parks, it could be a little pricey. It can pretty much even out, honestly. So those are some methods. I don't know if I'm going to be doing a long trip like this again, not until I'm retired, because it's just so hot down here. It's really, really challenging to be in this heat. it's every day is 90, but feels like 105. So I caution anybody who's planning to come down and visit. Definitely late fall, winter, and early spring, best time to come. It's still going to be hot, but the humidity drops down a lot. So, you know, take that advice and leave it. So again, this is probably our last excursion outside of the Disney bubble before we head home. By the way, we also use the auto train. I think I mentioned that too in previous videos, which is a great service. It's a direct train from Virginia down to Sanford, Florida, Lorton, Virginia to Sanford, Florida. It is awesome. It's relative. You bring your car on it. It costs, I think, a round trip for regular seats is I don't know, about $600-700 for 2 people, 3 people, and your car. So it's not too bad. It's comparatively to flying. It's you know, it's pretty good. So, and you have your car, which is nice. And right now, gas is cheaper down here in Florida. Usually it's more expensive, but right now maybe it's cheaper everywhere. But it seems to be it's lower down here than it was when we left New Jersey. Let's just put it that way. So, little update while we're trying to get into this Vineland Outlet Center, which is a crazy place to go in and try to park. But I did want to mention that for those of you that watched when we did the Star Wars sale at the end of June, it was hugely successful. Far better than I ever expected it to be. And it got me kind of pumped to not only, you know, start prepping for next year, but also to start finding items to sell for next year. Not just items in my own collection, but to find some bulk items elsewhere, you know, where we can do some cool stuff. So I could find some items that I thought people were interested in, and try to find more of that kind of stuff. You know, obviously the vintage stuff was the most popular, and that's what I'm definitely trying to find and look for and see what I can get. So, you know, that's indoor parking. I don't want that. I want to try for the outdoor parking, and we'll see, you know, where we go with that. So, anyway, so this is Vineland right here. Oh yeah, and also I will say that I've been buying up I've been, you know, taking part in things like more heritage auction, so you can look forward to some heritage auction unboxings. I got some huge wins on a bunch of auctions since I had a little bit more income to play with. I also took part in this guy named Star Wars Daddy, who is a great YouTube channel. I haven't really talked about him since because I haven't really had any new episodes since I started using his services. Oh, I think I went past. All right, that's okay. Let's go in here. And he is amazing. He is outstanding. He runs his own. He basically is a YouTube channel / eBay store, and he's been buying up Star Wars collections, only vintage for the most part, and meaning 70s and 80s, and he's been auctioning them off, and it has been so much fun. And you know, some of the items I've been buying to fill holes in my collection that has been, you know, part of it, but some of it has honestly been to kind of maybe see if I get a decent figure for a decent price, maybe I can flip it at the next sale. You know, if I got a cheap enough figure, and seems to me like that is definitely a way to go. So I am looking forward to that. I'll definitely be unboxing a bunch of his stuff, but yeah, he does an amazing channel. Check it out. He's a lot of fun, and he has a membership thing, so you can join up and become a member, and that's really cool. And I am actually I did decide to become a member of his channel, and that's been a hoot. He sends out in fact, he's been an inspiration to me, because I want to maybe try, and not right now, but I'm thinking about definitely looking into something of that nature in the future, trying to you know, maybe start up my eBay selling again, maybe tie it in as part of the channel, see if I can get a little more interest, see if I can find some vintage items that I can sell and, you know, buy and then resell. I don't know, who knows. That's down the road, but it's really cool, and I look forward to, you know, exploring that more. I've been taking part in his auctions. He does it every Sunday, and I shouldn't be telling you this, because now some people are going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. I'll be like, great. Now I have to compete with more bidders. But he's always on the prowl for some good stuff. And if you're especially somebody looking to fill holes in your collection, or if you're somebody who's interested in getting a loose collection going of vintage 70s and 80s Star Wars, check him out. He seems to find he's got some good resources, and he buys up bulk collections and then he sells them off individually, and I think that's, it's great. And he too likes to fill his own collection, which is great. So I can't stress enough how much I would, you check him out. So we'll be showing some of his unboxings. I'm probably going to need at least more than one, maybe 2 or even 3 or 4 even. We'll do in August, kind of early September. So that'll be the goal for that. So, all right. So as you can see, getting around Vineland kind of sucks. All right, there is parking. There is in fact parking in the tunnel, not tunnel, but in a covered parking, and you pay. Okay, I managed to find a spot. Holy Toledo, this is like crazy. There are literally like 15, 20 cars at any given time driving around, and I understand now what they're doing. You basically just drive around until somebody gets close to where is walking to their spot, close to where you are, and then it's like a free-for-all. I actually was supposed to do that, and another guy came up around the bend. I was waiting, saw a person go to their car, I waited, and then they just pulled right in. They didn't even care that I'm gonna use the better of the doubt and think that he didn't see me, but I'm pretty sure he did. So yeah, so enter at your own risk. The last time I was here in my previous video, I went and parked in the garage. Here it's free, so I parked inside, and I am under a tree, which is nice. I'll have some break from the heat, so that's good. All right, let's go check out the character wear. So my phone actually shut down because of the heat while I was pulling around. It was on the dashboard and it was pretty hot, so I had to give it a few minutes to cool down. Hopefully that won't happen again, but we'll have to wait and see. I gotta remember, I'm by the Banana Republic. Now, I'm actually turned my phone off for a few minutes because it was really bad. And I know that it's possible I'll be waiting outside to get into the outlet, because it seems like that's a thing that happens. So we'll see how it goes. Well, they still have our fun gears and plates. $14.99. That's pretty good. $5 plate. I'll figure out something. $20 for the set. I love them. No, I think I'll just do the individual one. It's got everything on there. It's got the Cantina Band guys. It's good. All right, so nothing new in this section. That would have been bad. Let's keep checking. Let's keep working here. It can be quite crowded here. I see some Funko Pops over there, but they're indie. Indiana Jones. As I said. Okay, we got more the same. Oh, the Ewoks are now just $12.99. Joy Factory figures. I already picked them up. $14.99. Oh, Bad Batch. I'll pick up the Bad Batch thing. And of course there's shirts. So many shirts. Youth. $10 shirts. Well, what do we got? It doesn't look like, as I said, there could have been a ton of things here like just 2 hours ago that are not here. So, God, I can't even think about a warm shirt. That's cute. How much are these, I wonder? These are $40. It's cute. If it had a pocket like this, I would get it. But I like to have in a pocket. I don't think there's any other. Yeah, they just have the sides. I said to my wife that I would absolutely find a lounge bag to be the perfect bag if it just had bigger sides to put water bottles in on each side. Oh, are you kidding me? There it is. That wasn't here 2 weeks ago. I ended up buying it on eBay for twice the price. Actually, 2 times the price. Now, with shipping. Oh, yeah. Well, win some and lose some. It almost looks like looks like the Razor Crest. All right, what else we got? I already picked up some of these. $14.99. Nah, I think I'm good. Oops, some Star Wars sunglasses for kids. All right, pretty cool, pretty cool. All right, so not a ton of new stuff. Looks like they've kind of kept it pretty much the same, but you know, I do believe some of the prices were lowered. Although I guess I can look back on the video to see for sure. Okay, let's kind of get in line here. They don't do pins anymore. That was something. I used to have pins, but no luck with the pins. $5. Pops. Funko Pops. A medallion collector book. Isn't that interesting? It didn't have the 2024 on it. I'd be there. Transportation. Marble pens. You have to put your phone in that. Already picked up some of those Yoda. Okay, so I picked up a couple of items. Before I wrap up, I'm just going to do a circle in this area and see what else Star Wars I can find. These are owl outlets, so now I've always been kind of like, I was always a head scratcher when it came to outlets, because on the one hand, I feel like they, oh yeah, get a good deal, but on the other hand, I'm like, you know, some of the stuff seems pretty new, so it's like, are you really getting a deal, or do they just automatically companies put them in the outlets? So you think you're getting a deal, but in the end, you're just getting, you know, you're getting the price for less than you might have paid elsewhere, but the company still makes the profit they need, so, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I just kind of wish they would be more honest about it. I mean, at least they did. All the items I just bought, I saw in the Disney stores in Disney World for the original prices, and now they're like sometimes half price, 60%, 80%, sometimes crazy, like 90% off. So, and I am not going down the Funko Pop realm. No, thank you, no. However, there was one thing here I saw I was curious about. I don't know if it's still here. Oh, look, drones. No more drones. Let's kind of do a circle here and see. You have to get luggage. If your luggage breaks, I don't even know how much they cost. Oh, sorry, sir. Nice, you know. It's like an indoor-outdoor. There's a lot of covering, so even if it's raining, you can still pretty much come around. Epic Gamers. There was a guy or a kiosk. I don't know if it's this one. There was a kiosk that was doing like not Lego, but like knockoff Legos, and there was some Star Wars in those. So I was just trying to see if I could find those. Okay, I just saw them. Unfortunately, the one I was looking at, I was interested in. It was more of like a figure kind of one, like the full body figure. Is unfortunately not that one. It was like a bust of a Stormtrooper and Vader. So not really what I was looking for. Alrighty. Let me go down this side here. Let's see if there's any other things. I saw a couple of things, like there were earbud covering that had a Star Wars theme. There was phone cases, maybe licensed, maybe not, I don't know. But that's not the stuff I'm really interested in. I'm really not even interested in Lego, honestly. It was just that it was kind of a knockoff Lego. So that was weird. Oh, here's another one. Oh, that's more Funko Pop. And you stand out there in the sun. Thank heavens I didn't have to do that this go around. Yeah, just Funko Pop. We're nice. Nothing, you know. Ugh. You can see it's, you know, Diesel, Ralph Lauren, Polo, Colehan, cosmetics, lots of stuff. I'm sure for those in the works. Oh, Cookie Diesel. These are, they were constantly trying to tap Karina to apply for them, my daughter to apply. Just don't think it would have been her cup of tea here. It seems very, unfortunately, a lot of these salespeople, even the artists, work on commission, which sadly, you know, means that if you have a bad day of sales, you know, it could be the difference between eating or not eating that night, you know? It's tough, man. Commission is a tough lifestyle. A lot of people do it. A lot of people are very successful with it. But it comes with a lot of other issues. Okay. Tommy Hilfiger. Longchamp. Jimmy Choo. Like some of this stuff, I mean, the way it's displayed, it's like brand new. I mean, of course it's brand new, but I mean, it's not even been, meaning it's right out of the factory. Not, a lot of the stuff has not been sitting in a store for a year and then placed on sale like what outlets are kind of supposed to be, you know? So, I don't know. All right, I think I'm going to do one more corner, and then I think I'm pretty much done.
But it's no longer here.
Right? I've almost gone around in a circle. In fact, I'm pretty sure I have. I think this is the, is this the food court coming up? Oh, no, not yet. Okay. Okay, well, I think I'll call it, guys. All right? So, I mean, oh, wait. Toy company. Is it the same guy? No, it's different. Let's check them out. Hello once again, Star Wars Unboxing fans. Here we are. Darth Tuba, Star Wars Unboxing Show. Still in Disney. Still in Florida. Yeah, we booked a long trip this year. Normally it's like a, you know, for a while there it was like a 2-week trip. Maybe 10 days, 2 weeks. Then, you know, it got a little longer. We stretched it to 3 weeks. And then the last couple of years, because our daughter lived down here, we made it like a full month. Because we missed our daughter. We wanted to see her. So, and we're both teachers. My wife was retired, so I was a teacher off in the summer. So we just, yeah, let's do it. It's good. Well, problem is that my daughter's not down here anymore. She moved back up. So she came with us for a couple of days, and then she flew home because she had to go to her job. And then now we've been here, and, you know, we've pretty much done all there is to do in Disney. and I've gone off, exited the bubble a bunch of times. In fact, the other day I said this was going to be my last exiting the bubble, and now I'm like, there was one thing I forgot to do, so I'm taking advantage of it. Yeah, so I've done pretty much all the rigid you can do, and I've done it in a very relaxed and a very kind of, never go all day, not push myself that much. It was just a go in the morning for a couple of hours, or rest in the midday and go into the evening. That's what I've basically been doing, or doing things like this where I leave and go and check something out, which is what we're going to do today. I had one more thing I forgot about. We've done the antique centers, we've done a couple of vintage toy shops, we've done a Disney character warehouse twice, and we have done a place called Recycling the Magic. And now I want to check one more thing. I didn't do a flea market. So there's a flea market. I think it's partially indoors or fully indoors, and it's open right now. So we're going to go check out a local Orlando flea market just to see what we can see. Not sure what we'll find, if there'll be any Star Wars there at all. We're going to check it out. So this is a bonus exiting the bubble for Star Wars video. I was starting to say that, we were here a very long time. And my wife and my daughter, who's now back home, misses us. And my wife's like, I think this is about 5 or 6 days too long. And I was fighting. I was like, no, I like it here. I want to stay here as long as possible. But even I'm at the point now where it's like, okay, we're good. Not that I don't get tired of Disney. That's not it at all. It's just, there's been a lot going on at home that there's stuff that's piling up. There are boxes coming in the mail over and over again of things that have been delivered. I need to get to them. There's a lot of work that needs to happen. And on top of this, when we get home, we're only home for 5 days, and then we're going to California for a week, or 5 days. So, but you know what? I'm not regretting that. That's okay. Although I'm not a big fan of flying. We do the auto train. I love that so much more. But we're gonna have to fly to California, so we'll see what happens there. And yes, there will be some video footage from California. We were there we were there a year ago. We were there in April. It's the 70th anniversary of Disney, so we're hoping to take care of it, take care of some Disney related content for that. But of course, another walk around Galaxy's Edge, look and see what they have to offer in their stores. It's always a little bit different than here on the East Coast. So, but today, let's check out a local flea market, see if we can find any Star Wars goodness. Okay, so this is the Visitors Flea Market. It's right across from Old Town, which is off International Drive. Such a different vibe than inside the Disney bubble. Let's see what we got. Okay, so that was interesting, to say the least. Yeah, it's funny. Like a flea market, when it's an indoor flea market, that generally means it's like a permanent station flea market. And sorry. And I feel as though in doing that, you have a lot of people that are just stocking their shelves with newer merchandise, maybe the occasional old stuff, but a lot of it was just new knockoff stuff. Matter of fact, I couldn't even park there because it was only about 10 parking spaces, and the thing is huge. So I had to park next door at a Disney gift shop, and the thing there is that you had to have your receipt in the window if you bought anything, otherwise they would tow your car. Now I don't know how accurate that is, but I did make a couple of little purchases. I purchased a couple of pens, Star Wars themed pens. They'll probably go out in the sale next year for less money than I paid. So yeah, that was that. Okay, this is the flea market at Main Gate. So we'll check this one out. It was only about 0.9 mile down from this. These food markets are interesting. They have a couple of buildings and then a bunch of food trucks, which I guess that kind of works. It's also right near one of those citrus big orange buildings. It's a popular Florida thing. I don't know if there's only one or a couple of them, but let's check it out. $40. Okay, well, that was a bit of a dud. It seems like all the interior flea markets that happen here are, you know, very inexpensive. I'm going to assume legitimate in some way, but a lot of it looks like it fell off a truck, if you know what I mean. And I can't be sure of that, so I'm not going to say for sure that's what it is. But yeah, not a good place to, certainly not a good place to find vintage items. Not to say that they don't come across it. I did find, and I'll put the video footage here. I did find one booth in the very first place I went to, the visitors flea market, and it seemed to have a lot of older, I wouldn't say vintage, well, at least I wouldn't say 70s and 80s vintage. I mean 90s, 2000s vintage era Star Wars figures, some activity books and puzzles and stuff, ranging from, say, 2000, maybe I thought 199, one Palpatine, Senator Palpatine figure, and then ranging all the way up to like 2018, 2019. But here's the problem. There was nobody working the booth. I couldn't find anybody. You know, I was interested in, they had a couple of loose Cantina figures that I would have bought if they were at a reasonable price. I'm trying to stock up on my Cantina figures so I can put them when the HasLab Cantina comes out. I have loose figures to stock it with. Not even like retro. I'm talking about just any of the characters. So unfortunately, there wasn't nobody there to take my money, so they lost out. Maybe there was somebody around. I could have asked, but I'll be honest with you, I was a little weirded out by the place. I tell you, man, I was telling people, I enjoy going to Disney. I'm not a huge fan of going to Florida. It's kind of sad, you know. There's a lot of, but this is kind of what it's like in a lot of places. I don't know if you've noticed this. Leave a comment if you've noticed this, but any kind of touristy thing in any part of the world, you know, I've been to all sorts of different countries, and you know, any place that there are tourists, you find these kind of like Chotsky kind of places that they try to sell you stuff from the Disney, and Disney's no different, from the Disney gift shops outside to these flea markets, which also had a lot of Disney gift shop items. So, you know, not an easy place. I certainly am, you know, I've seen people, you know, make posts on Facebook groups saying, oh, look what I found. I was walking through this flea market and such, and I found a vintage sandcrawler with the remote. And I'm like, okay, dude, that's like going into a convenience store and winning a lottery. You know, getting one of those scratch offs and winning like $500 a week for life or something. It's I'm sure it happens, but it's rare. It's really rare. So, but I guess the more you do it, the more you can find stuff. I think you're better off looking for places like outdoor flea markets where people go around and try to find stuff of their own and then put it out there, and it's different every week, that type of thing. These indoor places, they're just stocking with stuff. So I would not recommend these as a place to go. But you know what? I'm glad I tried. I wanted to see what Florida was like, if it was any different than up in my neck of the woods. And, you know, I feel like the outdoor flea markets are probably a better bet. I haven't been able to find one here that was open on a day that I was here. So I don't know if that'll happen or not. Probably not on this trip. But that's going to do it for today. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button. Definitely hit some likes, guys. If we could put more likes on here along with our views, I think that the dreaded YouTube algorithm will get the channel out to more people who might be interested in it. All right. So until next time, may the Force and the toys be with you.